Hello and welcome to Yoga for Jiu Jitsu. This is a full body yoga flow with poses and sequences intended to target the areas of the body that people mostly struggle with. So we'll be focusing on your ankle mobility, strengthening your knees, improving your hip flexibility, wrist strength, neck strength, and head strength too. So when you're ready, we'll begin kneeling at the back of the mat. Tuck your toes under, so you're resting your bum on your heels. Interlace your fingers, clasp your hands together, and start to roll out your wrists. You can start with a small movement and then begin to exaggerate it. Shake out your hands all together and come into tabletop. Spread your fingers wide, then keep the fingers on the mat as you lift the palms up and down. You could start slow and then begin to pick up the pace so it becomes quite a rapid movement. It can also help to edge the knees a little bit closer for balance. Go as fast as you can. And start to slow it down. And lower the palms completely. Then flip your hands. You can either do one at a time or both. If you're doing one at a time, then I'll cue you when to switch. Press the tops of the hands into the mat. And breathe steady. If you're doing one hand, then switch hands now. All right, then flip your hands back, so fingers face forwards. And tuck your toes, hover the knees off the mat about an inch or two. Gaze down to relax head and neck. Then step the right foot forwards, bring the knee to tap the forearm. And step the left foot forwards, tap the knee to the forearm. Step right foot back, and then left foot. Keep it going, right foot forwards, left foot, right foot back, left foot back. A few more times. Keep the torso level with the ground here, so it's just the legs moving. 2 more. Last one. Then pause with your knees hovering off the mat. Hold for a breath in. Exhale, pick up the hips, straighten the legs, move back to downward dog. Inhale, come back to tabletop, hovering the knees off the mat. Exhale, push back to down dog. Doesn't matter if the heels don't quite ground, legs don't need to be all the way straight. Inhale, come forwards, hovering tabletop. Exhale, push back, down dog. 2 more times. Inhale, come forwards. Stack shoulders over wrists. Exhale, push back. Final time. Inhale, come forwards. Exhale, push back. And we'll pause a few breaths here. You could pedal out the legs to help loosen up the hamstrings or move in any way that feels good. Then come forwards and lower the knees down for tabletop. Untuck the toes, rock forwards, send the shoulders past the wrists. Then try to keep the body in one line as you bend your arms and lower down with control. Try to lower down as slow as you can through a modified chaturanga. Bring the forearms to the mat. Press the forearms into the mat to lift your chest for Sphinx, rolling the shoulders back. Steady your breath here. Then lower the chest down. Open your arms out to the side in a cactus position. And you can either rest the forehead on the mat here or keep the head lifted, whichever feels better. Lift the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together to engage the upper back. And then lower the arms down. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale as you lower. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale, lower down. 2 more times. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Bring the hands under the shoulders, press up into tabletop. Then sit your hips back on your heels. Lower your belly towards your thigh for child's pose. You can rest the forehead on the mat here. Relax the arms by your side. Taking the first few breaths here, just letting the spine round. Steady the breath. Then clasp the hands behind your back. Keep your head on the mat as you lift your hips. Roll onto the crown of the head to help strengthen the neck. And then roll towards your hairline. Sit the hips back on the heels. Come back to child's pose. A few more times. Roll onto the crown of the head. Lift the hips. Maybe see if you can go a little higher this time. And then roll back down. 3 more times. Roll forwards onto the crown of the head. You could challenge yourself by tucking your toes, seeing if you can lift the knees off the mat. So it's like you're coming into a headstand. Lower the knees back down, come back to child's pose. 2 more times, rolling onto the crown of the head. Either staying here with the knees on the mat or seeing if you could press through the feet, lift the knees, straighten the legs. 1 more time, come back to child's pose. Then roll onto the crown of the head, either keeping the knees grounded or straightening the legs. Come back to child's pose. Reach the arms forwards. And then come up into tabletop. Extend the legs to find plank. Then step the right foot to the outside of the right hand, or as close as you can get it. You could always heel toe the foot forwards. Then step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. You can use your fingertips on the mat here for support as you find a squat position. Lift the chest, pause for a breath in. And exhale, step both feet back to plank. Step the left foot to the outside of left hand for a lizard lunge. Right foot to outside of right hand. Inhale, lift your chest, find your squat. Exhale, step both feet back to plank. A few more rounds like this. Go a little quicker, stepping the feet to the outsides of the hands. Pause for a breath in your squat. Maybe you could send the hips a little further down to come into Malasana, but it's okay if not. Exhale as you step back to plank. And repeat. The next time you find your squat position, hold. Make it more challenging by interlacing the fingers, flipping the palms, reaching the arms up. So you really have to rely on your legs for stability here. Holding 1 more breath in. Exhale, lower the hands down, step to plank. Pause for a breath in. Exhale, keeping the knees lifted this time, rock forwards. Bend the arms, keeping them close to the side of the body as you lower down through chaturanga, lowering the body in one line. Come all the way down to your belly. Hover your hands off the mat, just underneath the shoulders. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Inhale, lift the chest for a slightly different variation of cobra. So you're using the strength in your back to lift. If it does become too much, hands could always come down for support. Pause for 1 more breath in. Exhale, push back to tabletop. Lift your hips, push back to down dog. Then lift the right leg high. Inhale. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, or as close as you can get it. And bring your shoulders over your wrists. Step the foot between the hands. You could always heel toe it forwards if you need. Then reach the arms up for high lunge. Turn out the back foot slightly and ground the heel. And keep the hips facing forwards towards the front of the mat. So it's quite challenging for ankle mobility, but really important. Continue to press through the back heel, turning the hips forwards. Steady your breath. Good. Then lift the back heel, turn the foot to face forwards for high lunge. You can rest hands on hips for now. With your exhale, send your front knee past your ankle and sink the hips down to tap the back knee down to the mat. Then push the floor away, lift back up, return to high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, let the front knee track forwards, hips sink down, lower the back knee down for low lunge. Inhale, lift back up. 3 more times. Exhale, shift forwards to lower down. Inhale as you lift. 2 more times. With the last one, as you lower down for low lunge, stay here. Sink the hips a little further forwards. Press the front heel into the mat, so you should start to feel a stretch down the back of the calf. And plant the hands, step to plank. Hold for a breath in. Exhale, rock forwards, lower down through chaturanga, just like last time, slow and controlled. Come all the way down to the belly. Hover the hands off the mat. Inhale, lift the chest for an active variation of cobra. Exhale, push back to down dog. Inhale, lift left leg high. Exhale, bring knee to nose or as close as you can. Stack the shoulders over the wrists and step the foot between the hands. Arms up, inhale. Then turn out the back foot, ground the heel, keep the hips square to the front of the mat for warrior 1. It might feel really awkward for that back foot, but it's great for improving ankle mobility, so as best you can, try to press the heel down while turning the hips forwards. Good. Lift the back heel, turn the foot to face forwards. High lunge. You can rest the hands on the hips for now. Inhale here. Exhale, send the front knee forwards. Lower the back knee down to tap the mat for low lunge. Inhale, lift back up. High lunge. Exhale, shift forwards, sinking the hips down, letting the front knee go past the ankle. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, come up. 3 more times. Exhale as you lower. Inhale as you lift. Last one, as you lower down to your low lunge, pause here. Keep letting the hips sink forwards. You're looking to press the front heel down. Maybe you start to feel a stretch down the back of the calf. Plant the hands and step to plank. Inhale, hold your pose. Exhale, lower through chaturanga, trying to keep the body in one line. Come all the way down to the belly. Hover the hands, lift the chest, inhale. Exhale, push back to down dog. Looking to the top of the mat now. You can hop, step, or jump the feet to the outsides of the hands to come back to your squat or your malasana, sinking the hips a little bit lower. Then you can either stay in stillness here or find a little bit of a rock side to side, lifting one heel, shifting weight to that side, and then switching to the other. Then turn to face the side of your mat so you've got the length of the mat to move down. I'm moving to the left, so I'll be cueing to the left, so just do the opposite if you're moving to the right. Place the hands to the left side. Shift weight into your hands, and in one movement, swing your legs to the left, like a little monkey jump. Then we'll move in the other direction, placing the hands to the right, swinging the legs to the right. Try to get the hips as high as you can. Maybe you find a little bit of handstand time as you go from side to side. Trying to land as lightly as you can so there's no sound. Go one more to each side. Then turn to face the front of your mat and stand up. Cross the right foot over the top of the left knee, so just above the knee. And bend the standing leg like you're sitting down in a chair. Focus the gaze on one spot to help with the balance. You could bring hands to prayer, or perhaps rest the hands on the leg that is crossed over the top. Shift weight back through the standing foot. So weight is in the heel, and sit the hips a little lower. Good. Then wrap the index and middle finger of the right hand round your big toe. Stand up and lift the foot with you. Rest left hand on your hip and start to straighten the right leg. Now, if you've got long legs, it might start to get really difficult, so you could always hold onto the underside of your knee, but as best you can, try to keep hold of the big toe. Press the foot into your hand to extend the leg. And focus the gaze ahead of you. Good. Then final challenge here. Keep the leg lifted, but rest both hands on your hips. So using the strength in the leg to keep it lifted. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the leg down. Then we'll switch sides. Cross left foot over the top of the right knee. Bend the grounded leg. Sit down in your chair. Shift weight back through the heels. Sink the hips a little lower. You can either rest hands on your leg or bring hands to prayer. Good. Then wrap the index and middle finger of the left hand round your big toe. Stand up and lift the foot with you. Then start to extend the leg, pressing the foot into the hand. Again, if you've got really long legs, you might want to take hold of the underside of the knee. It may make it more accessible. And focus the gaze ahead of you. Stand tall. Steady your breath. Final challenge, keep the leg lifted, rest both hands on your hips. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the leg down. Nice work. Inhale, reach the arms up, lift the gaze, look up. Exhale as you fold all the way forwards. Inhale as you lift halfway, bringing the chest level with the ground. Hands could come to thighs for support. Exhale, step back to plank. Holding your plank for a breath in, push the floor away. Exhale, chaturanga, rock forwards, then bend the arms as you lower down in one line. Good. Hover the hands off the mat. This time as you inhale and lift the chest, there's also the option to lift the legs for a little bit more of a challenge. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Press back up to tabletop. Then keeping the hips over the knees, walk your hands forwards. Sink the chest down for a puppy pose. So chest is sinking down to the mat. Either the chin or the forehead could rest on the mat. Let's start to slow down your breathing. Lift the chest, come back to tabletop, bring hands under shoulders. Inhale, reach the right arm up, turn the chest open to the right side. Exhale, thread the right arm under the left, lower the shoulder, lower the head down to the mat. Wrap the left arm behind the back. Option to stay here. If you'd like a little bit of a balance challenge, then extend the left leg. Shift weight into the right knee and try to hover the left foot off the mat. It might be just an inch or two. Keep pressing through the right forearm to help you balance. So you're pressing the arm down into the ground for stability. Lower the foot, bring the knee back to the mat, and come back to tabletop. Left side, inhale, lift the arm, turn the chest open. Exhale, thread left arm under right. Lower the shoulder, lower the head to the mat. Right arm wraps behind the back. Option to stay here, or you could extend the right leg. Shift weight into the left knee for balance as you hover the right foot off the mat. Just a few inches. Keep pressing the left arm into the mat to help with stability. Lower the foot if you lifted it, bring the knee back to the mat, and come back to tabletop. Good. Then sit on your side, swing your legs round, come and lie down on your back. Then as you lie down, bend your knees. Rest your arms by your side. Then tuck your chin to your chest so that you lift the back of the head off the mat. And we'll just do a couple of head crunches, great for strengthening the neck. So lower the head back down. Then bring chin to chest, lift the head off the mat. Going for 10 times. So you can take it at your pace. Try to move with as much control as you can instead of just rushing the movement. Last few to go. Good. Then lower your head back down. Your neck is probably feeling it now. I know mine is. So relax the head into the mat. Extend the right leg up. You can either bring the hands to the back of the knee or catch the big toe if it's within reach. Extend the leg all the way up so you start to feel a stretch down the back of the leg. You can either keep left leg bent for this, or you could straighten the leg as you open the right leg out to the side. Try to keep the back of the buttocks in connection with the ground. So as the leg opens, you might feel like you're rolling over to the side. If that's happening, roll back to the left so you feel your glutes are on the mat. Good. Lift the leg back up and then sweep it across to the left side to bring yourself into a twist. This time the glutes will lift off the mat as you twist. And you can reach the right arm out to the side so the arms are in this T shape. Left hand is now holding onto the foot or the knee. Slowly release the twist. Lower the right leg down, then lift the left leg up. You can either bring the hands to the back of the knee or catch hold of the big toe. And finding that stretch down the back of the leg, maybe you draw the leg a little bit closer to find more sensation. Then opening the leg out to the left side. Notice if your hips are starting to roll to the left. Roll back to the right so you keep your bum on the mat. And lift the leg back up. Take it over to the right side. Come into a supine twist. Right hand can take hold of the foot or leg here. And the left arm can reach out to the left side. And just continuing to slow the breath. Release the twist and extend the left leg down the mat. Then relax both arms by your side. We'll settle in just for about a minute or two of stillness in Shavasana, letting the body rest. Deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Hug your knees into your chest. And roll onto your side. And then when you're ready, joining me back in a seated position. Just keeping the eyes closed for now. Let's rest the hands on the knees. With an inhale, lift the shoulders up to the ears. As you exhale, roll the shoulders back and down, just rolling away any built-up tension. And when you're ready, open the eyes. Thank you for your time and energy. I hope that you enjoyed this class, and hopefully it will help to improve your range of movement for Jiu Jitsu. Take care, and I'll see you next time.